So a lot of students get really stressed out when they have to do peer review of their classmates. And the reason why they get stressed out is because they're worried that they're going to be too mean to their classmates. That's reason number one. Reason number two that people get stressed out about it is they're like, well, I'm not a good writer, and so how can I give someone else feedback on their writing? I think both of those concerns are legitimate, but at the same time, I don't think you have to worry about them as much as you may think. First of all, for the most part, people are not very mean in these workshops. One of the actual problems that we have is that students don't really take the time to do the hard critical work of workshop, and that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Now, that being said, I know that workshop is really hard. This is not an easy activity, and it really shouldn't be, because this is your opportunity to work on your critical reading strategies and skills. It's also going to be your chance to work on your critical writing. And giving someone feedback is something that you're going to end up doing over and over and over again in your career and in your life. So it is hard, but we have to do it anyway. And like many hard things, it is very rewarding. So that being said, we don't want to end up being too nice to our classmates. And what I mean by nice is not critical. Sometimes students will take a look at another person's draft, they'll say, hey, seems good to me, couldn't think of anything, good luck. That's actually probably the meanest thing you can do. Not giving someone feedback means that they have to go into the revision process by themselves. They don't have any feedback from you, they don't have anywhere to start, they just kind of have to go at it blindly. And so I would say, if you're concerned about sounding mean or harsh, use a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to just give them questions. What was your strategy when you started this introduction? Could you give me more details here? Or I found this a little confusing. Is there a way you could explain it more? That's often a way that you can be a little more diplomatic. The other thing to think about is we really want to focus on the paper rather than the person. So when you're writing feedback to each other, we want to say something like, I thought the introduction of this paper was a little confusing, versus I think you are confusing. Maybe that's not the best example. If you might want to say something like, I thought your paper was a little disorganized. I couldn't tell what idea followed the next, versus you are disorganized. It's a small shift in language, but semantically it makes a big difference. Okay, so on to concern number two. And concern two is that students often feel that they don't have the credentials or the credibility to give each other feedback. And that's wrong. No one's asking you to give someone feedback as an expert or as a writing teacher or any of those things. We're asking you to give feedback as a writer, or as a reader. So all you have to do is tell them how you're reading it. So I'm reading your paper, it's flowing along, it's working, and then sometimes it gets confusing. So one of the most valuable things you can do is just tell them how you're reading it. What reactions are coming up in your mind? What thoughts are you having as you're reading? Where are places that you get maybe slowed down or your reading kind of stumbles? That's the kind of feedback that we want to give them, and it's really valuable. So this is your workshop pep talk. Writing workshops are really hard. They're really good for you. So please be sure to do it. Give each other good feedback. Help each other out. You guys are a community here, and you have to support one another. So let me know if you have questions or if I can help. Thanks so much, and good luck.